don't walk around looking like that. If only I did. That is a tan, that is lighting, that is taking some form of pre-workout, that is doing a bunch of pumping up backstage before I come out, that is spraying water on myself, is using something called hot stuff, which makes your veins stick out. The internet can be a very deceiving place, especially when it comes to bodybuilding or fitness or, lighting or how people make themselves look in social media, Instagram posts. It's not necessarily what we're going to focus on today, but I thought it was really, really important to make this video and just have a little chat about expectations, because that really does tie in to, basically when you first start lifting weights, right? When you first start lifting weights, there will be a body that you see or a person that you lean towards. You might, man, I really want to look like that guy. How did that guy get there? Or girl, how did they get there? What do they eat? What do they do? So on and so forth. And as we've talked about in loads of these videos, that's kind of difficult to ascertain because what works for one person may not work for you. Some people need more calories, some people need less calories, protein, carbs, fats, how you train, yada, 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 so on and so on. You may have an injury you have to work around. No, it's rare that you get two people that look exactly alike. I mean, you take someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was clearly a genetic freak, and you compare that with someone like, I don't know, say Triple H from WWE. They are two massively different things, like both big dudes, but they are big in their own ways. For example, at that point in his career, Triple H probably could stepped on a bodybuilding stage. You can go and find those pictures of what he used to do when he was a kid. But anyway, I don't want to get, you take my point. You see what I'm saying. But sometimes in the comments, I get people saying, oh, you must be doing this or you must be doing that and yada, 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 and so on and so on and so forth. And that's why I wanted to make it clear. I am not ripped. I am not ripped by any stretch of the imagination. My body fat percentage is probably pretty damn high if we're being, it's not high. I'm not saying, this isn't me saying I think I'm obese or fat. I'm not saying that. I would classify myself as lean, but I think sometimes, again, the picture I use for the thumbnail on this video, for example, I don't walk around looking like that. If only I did. That is a tan, that is lighting, that is taking some form of pre-workout, that is doing a bunch of pumping up backstage before I come out, that is spraying water on myself, is using something called hot stuff, which makes your veins stick out. It's all of these different things. Like, it's an illusion. And while I don't think that's so bad, when I'm obviously the photo I'm referencing is from a wrestling show, but while I don't think it's so bad in that kind of a context, because, I think most people when they're watching an athletic sport or an athletic whatever know that people's bloods are pumping and their adrenaline's up, and that's always going to make you look bigger. Hence why when you get a pump in the gym, you're like, why can't I just look like that all the time? If I look like that all the time, everything would be okay. But it does tie in to certain, again, social media, especially on Instagram posts that try and feed you this kind of nonsense. Like, if you do this diet, you're going to look like this. If you do my weight plan, you do this. If you eat nothing but, I don't know, strawberries, you're going to look amazing. And sometimes I find a little bit, I'm not going to say that it's deceptive or devious, but I do think it puts out unrealistic goals for people. And that's the hardest thing when you get into the gym. It's about setting small, realistic goals that you can achieve constantly so that you stay motivated and you don't hit a plateau and that you don't give up. Because if you have this crazy kind of a goal, let's say that you want to like Ronnie Coleman. You know who Ronnie Coleman is, go and Google him. I'll tell you right now, very, very, very unlikely you're not going to look like Ronnie Coleman, one of the just biggest specimens who has ever been born onto this planet Earth. But let's just say you decide that's your goal. If you don't get there within 1 year or 2 years, which you won't no matter what the hell you're doing, you're probably going to get a little bit frustrated, and maybe you get fed up, and maybe you go, screw it, you have a bad day at work, or you're going through a bad time in your life, and you may think, I can't be bothered anymore. And that's not what you want. And this is why it's always so important when it comes to fitness and lifting weights to be realistic. And going back to sort of the title of this video, the way that I kind of want to look right now, I do want to shed some body fat. I'm not going to lie, and I'm making changes at the moment to do that. But in essence, the way I want to look like now is that when somebody sees me before I'm about to enter a wrestling match, I want them to look at me and go, that guy could kick somebody's ass. That's all I need. And I found it really hard to transition from my singlet into shorts. We did a video about it because in my head, you need to look like a professional bodybuilder because that's kind of what I grew up with. But I'm not a professional bodybuilder. I'm not even an amateur bodybuilder at the moment. I am a professional wrestler, and that comes with it a different look and a different take. By the way, my name is Simon Miller. That's my opening rant for this video. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Please do hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and definitely hit that like button. I want you to hit that like button, not more than once, because that will unlike it. But YouTube is set with likes right now, and to push my videos out there, we need to get those likes, so I would appreciate that. But yeah, when I keep seeing these comments with people saying, well, basically it's people accusing me of doing, dodgy stuff, which I would tell you if I did it, but I 100% don't do it. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, it's because they're seeing these pictures. They're not doctored or anything like that, but they are shot in a professional way under certain lighting to make me look as flattering as possible. Like somebody used a picture on a wrestling poster the other day of me. I didn't know where it came from, but it made me look far better than I actually did because I probably just had a wrestling match. Maybe I hadn't eaten that many carbs that day. Who knows? It could have been one of 1,000 things that allowed me to get into that position. And it makes you smile. But I certainly, that's not how I walk around at. Like some guy seemed to think, it was absolutely ludicrous, seemed to think I was like sub 10%. I'm not sub 10% body fat. I'm aware of that. I'm not delusional. I like to be, self-awareness to me is one of the most important things in the world. I think to kind of achieve a lot of stuff, you have to be self-aware. Not always the case, but anyway, that's how I kind of see it. But yeah, so basically the message of this whole thing is if you are trying to, and that goes for me as well. Like, again, I try and be as transparent as possible and honest, and hopefully that comes across. But there are some fitness guys out there who I personally don't think are. I don't think they're giving you the kind of 411 on what they're doing or what actually it's possible to achieve. And that's kind of something you got to get into your head as well. Maybe you do want to be 250 pounds of lean muscle. Like you want to walk around at 7% body fat and be absolutely ripped. But there's a good chance you're not going to be able to get there simply because of whatever, your body type, your lifestyle, the fact you can't dedicate 100% of your time to it. But the thing is, that is okay. You have to find out the goals that work for you because let's say that you are a fat guy or whatever. I hate that term, but let's say you're a fat guy. If you manage to shred all of that weight and shed all that poundage and transform yourself so that when people look at you, go, wow, he looks really muscly and athletic. To me, that's a massive win and you should hold on to that and you should be really proud of it. Doesn't mean you stop there. You can still kind of figure out where you want to go now and how do I keep myself motivated, stuff we've already talked about. And I kind of had the similar thing. I mentioned Triple H earlier because Triple H was the guy that really, along with professional bodybuilders, but obviously they've got that more freaky look. Whereas Triple H, at one point in my life, kind of looked attainable, and then kind of you grow up and you learn a bunch of stuff and you move on. But I think the cool thing was, it took me a little while, but I never lost my passion or my motivation for lifting weights. By that point, I'd embedded myself in my program and my training and my diet and realized, oh man, this really speaks to me and helps me get through a day. That's too negative. It motivates me, like I keep saying, but I enjoy doing it. That's the key. And because I enjoy doing it, then I was like, okay, well, now I'm going to focus on my body. And you certainly should watch YouTube videos, read articles, buy books, because you can never know everything. And there may be these tiny tips and tricks that allow you to get that extra 1 or 2%, which will get you over the hurdle and over the obstacle that you're facing. Just so that, you can look in the mirror 6 months to a year down the line and go, sweet, I made those changes. Now what's next? But I am not ripped. But it depends what your definition of ripped is. So let's say that ripped is below sub 10% body fat. We'll use that. I am not sub 10% body fat. I'm well aware of this. I'm not bothered about this. Again, would I like to get leaner? Yes. Am I making changes to get there at the moment? Yes, I am. And we'll see what happens. But don't forget too, if you do get a little bit leaner, you're going to look a little bit smaller as well because fat is this amazing thing. I'm not saying fat is a good thing, but if you do have a bit of fat on you, especially if you're wearing a jumper or a t-shirt like this, you're going to look bigger. And that may be all right for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're not dumb like me. You didn't decide to become a professional wrestler and parade around in your underwear. I think Randy Orton said something about that recently. He said the smartest people in wrestling are people like Kevin Owens who comes out in a t-shirt and shorts. Then you haven't got to worry about it. Now, obviously, that's not I didn't start getting in shape for wrestling. I just found it when I was quite young, and absolutely, like I say, I knew instantly that it was my biggest passion. And if nothing else, knowing that you do have to walk around in your pants is a great motivator. If you want to have a pizza on a Wednesday, you're like, yeah, Simon, you got a wrestling match on Saturday. Is it worth it? You're like, no, it's not. It's not worth it at all. When I'm backstage doing 1,000 push-ups, I don't want to look like it. I don't want to look like that. Because like I say, if you do lift weights and you do bodybuild and you do get into it, deep down, we're all crazy. Because it's too much. Like sometimes I can see somebody eating a Bounty bar or a Mars bar or a Snickers bar or a chocolate bar on a Thursday on a train. And I just look at them like 1 p.m. like, how are you doing that? I wouldn't be able to put it in my mouth because cheat day is Saturday night. That's what I've taught myself. And my brain now feels guilty if I do anything else. How dumb is that? So a bit of a rant, a bit different to my other fitness videos. But again, it's just, I see some of these Instagram posts and how forceful they can be with their messages. And I think, well, that's not that's not going to help anybody. Like the big one is you've got to get up at 4:30 a.m. every morning if you want to make changes. Or, you get big words saying, what's your excuse? Maybe your excuse is it's a Thursday, you've had a long week, and deep down you're going to benefit from eating well that day, but also, having a rest day. Maybe that's going to help your body. It's going to help you grow. Mental health is just as important as physical health. And when it comes to bodybuilding, those two things tie in. Again, go check my bodybuilding video out when I did a competition. The big takeaway from that is the sheer toughness of trying to keep your emotional state intact when you're in a surplus, deficit calorie-wise, and your body starts to freak out, because of course it does. The brain knows. The brain is really smart. So it starts sending all these messages out going, what are you doing? What are you, danger, Will Robinson. But there you go. There's nothing wrong with, not being ripped. There's nothing wrong with training for your own thing. There's nothing wrong with being super ripped even. If you've managed to achieve that, fantastic. If you're massive and ripped, hell yeah, man. I'll look at you and probably get a little envious too. But it's something I'm very passionate about. I think I'll pick out some of these Instagram posts in the future. I don't think I'll reveal the name. I don't think I need to do that. But I may pick them out and just kind of give you an idea of, basically my point is I think a lot of fitness, not a lot of it, some fitness marketing or advertising is negative. Like, you don't like this, so you suck. You're not doing this, so you suck. No, it's the other way around. You're awesome because you are doing it to begin with, whether you're at point A or point Z. That's the key. Why that ties into me being ripped, I don't know. But I think it kind of does, right? I think it kind of does, because it's perception. And you can make perception reality. And that can lead you down a crazy path too. What a crazy video this has been. Not what I intended to, but hey, that's the best thing about YouTube. I can just upload it and nobody gives two shibs. Please do like the video. Like I say, subscribe. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Simon316. That's how I'm able to do all of this. And leave me a comment below. Let's have a little chat about fitness. Let me know what other fitness videos you want to see me do. If you are going through the comments and you notice another one, you think, oh, that's a good idea, like that one, because it will go to the top of my comment feed and we can do it that way. Otherwise, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you soon.